Hello guys, I'm Demas, and you're in another Dincast Movies. Do not leave this video, because the list of movies on Netflix today is too much. Great movies on Netflix for you to watch without fear of wasting time. Please like it and subscribe to the channel, your subscription is valuable to us. The first film is To the Bone, a remarkable and important drama to know. I was very moved when I saw it the first time. To the Bone is a 2017 drama film directed by Marty Noxon. The story follows Ellen, a young woman in her 20s who suffers from anorexia nervosa and seeks to overcome her eating disorder through various treatments. Lily Collins plays Ellen, who is referred to a treatment program led by an unusual doctor, played by Keanu Reeves. During her stay, Ellen meets other patients who also struggle with eating disorders such as bulimia and binge eating. The film addresses important themes such as self-esteem, body acceptance, family relationships, and the devastating effects of anorexia nervosa. Through Ellen's difficult journey of recovery, the film shows the need to face fears and traumas in order to achieve healing. To the Bone is an emotional and relevant production that highlights the seriousness of anorexia nervosa and the importance of proper treatment and family and professional support in recovery. It is certainly worth watching and reflecting on these important topics. I'm sure it will thrill you lightly. Cargo. The next film has an incredible atmosphere, with a very good setting, with natural settings and a very good cast. It is a very remarkable film for me. I'm talking about The Position of 2018. The story follows a couple, Andy, Martin Freeman, and Kay, Susie Porter, who are traveling through Australia with their little girl during a zombie apocalypse. When Kay is infected with the virus, Andy must find her daughter a safe place before it's too late. The film received positive reviews for its original approach to the zombie genre and also for Martin Freeman's performance. However, some critics felt that the film was a bit predictable and did not bring much new to the genre. Anyway, Cargo is a tense and emotional film that is worth watching for. Number 3 is a tense movie. Guys, imagine a movie that will take your breath away. I'm talking about Man on a Ledge. Man on a Ledge is a 2012 thriller film directed by Esker Leff. The story revolves around a former police officer named Nick Cassidy, Sam Worthington, who threatens to commit suicide by jumping off a building in New York. Media surround the building. We discover that there's much more at play than just Cassidy's desire to end her life. In addition to Sam Worthington, the film's cast includes Elizabeth Banks, Jamie Bell, Anthony Mackie, and Ed Harris. Banks plays Lydia Mercer, a hostage negotiator who was called in to try to talk Cassidy out of jumping off the building. Jamie Bell plays Joey, Cassidy's younger brother, who tries to help him prove his innocence. The plot of the film is well tied and involves several characters, including a corrupt businessman played by Ed Harris, who Nick Cassidy accuses of being responsible for the robbery that landed him in prison. With an intelligent script and full of twists, Man on a Ledge keeps the viewer tense and intrigued until the end. Too good movie. The next one is directed by one of my favorite directors. His ability to convey the stories is amazing, always mixing crazy stories with dynamic scripts. This is Guy Ritchie and the movie is The Gentleman. I couldn't believe it when I saw it was on Netflix. The film tells the story of Mickey Pearson, Matthew McConaughey, an American drug dealer who built a marijuana empire in England. When he decides to sell his business and retire, a series of events is set in motion, including a robbery, blackmail, and murder. The Gentleman is a film full of black humor and fast dialogues, typical characteristics of Guy Ritchie films. The script is well structured and presents surprising twists, in addition to a non-linear narrative that keeps the spectator involved in the plot. The film received positive reviews for the performance of the cast, especially Hugh Grant, who plays a very different character than he usually plays. A movie worth watching right now, Top. Solace is a 2015 supernatural thriller film directed by Afonso Poyart. The story revolves around a retired doctor named John Clancy, Anthony Hopkins, who has psychic abilities that help him solve crimes. Clancy is called in to help FBI Special Agent Joe Merriweather, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, capture a serial killer who is killing people at random. However, the killer, played by Colin Farrell, also has psychic abilities and is able to read the minds of his victims. As the hunt continues, Clancy and the killer engage in a game of cat and mouse as tension mounts and the number of victims rises. The film was criticized by some for its predictable plot and lack of originality compared to other films in the genre. However, others praised Hopkins and Farrell's performances, as well as the film's dark and eerie atmosphere. Overall, Solace is an interesting thriller that combines supernatural elements with a detective story. Now, get ready, this is a great movie on Netflix. This one is unmissable. The film is Prisoners. It is a psychological thriller film released in 2013 and directed by Denis Villeneuve. The film tells the story of Keller Dover, Hugh Jackman, a family man who lives in a small town in the United States and has his daughter and her friend kidnapped. Desperate to find the girls, Dover starts investigating on his own and ends up crossing paths with Detective Loki, Jake Gyllenhaal, who is leading the official investigations. The film addresses heavy themes, such as the despair of parents of missing children and the ethics of torture. The plot is intense and keeps the viewer hooked to the screen from start to finish. The characters are well developed, with emphasis on the performances of Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal. Prisoners was well received by critics, being praised for its tense and unpredictable narrative. The film was nominated for several awards, including the Academy Award for Best Cinematography. Overall, Prisoners is an intense and emotionally disturbing film, but one that grips the viewer from beginning to end. If you are a fan of psychological suspense and powerful performances, this film is a good option. But it is a film that can divide opinions, especially for the ending. And the last one is also a tense film. I think the name of this list should be Tense Movies on Netflix. This movie is really good on Netflix. I'm talking about The Taking of Pelham 123. It is an action thriller film released in 2009, directed by Tony Scott. The plot takes place in New York, where a group of criminals led by Ryder, played by John Travolta, hijack a subway train on the Pelham 123 line and demand a millionaire ransom in exchange for the passengers. Negotiator Walter Garber, Denzel Washington, is assigned to deal with the situation and try to save the lives of the hostages. The film is a remake of the 1974 classic, and although it received mixed reviews, it was praised for the performances of Travolta and Washington, as well as the intense and well-executed action scenes. The soundtrack was also featured, with songs by artists such as Jay-Z and The Roots. Although the plot is quite predictable at times, The Taking of Pelham 123 is a gripping film that keeps the viewer on the edge of their seat. If you're a fan of action and suspense, this might be a movie worth checking out. I hope you enjoyed the video that was made with care. I'll leave another list on the cards. Thank you guys.